Hey everybody, welcome back to another live trading video. My name is Nick, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys this AUD USD trade that I took on the short side just recently. So far, it's going pretty well, but I want to talk about this position because it's kind of been a frustrating one, and I think that as traders, we all deal with frustrating trades, and on YouTube, a lot of times you just see the ups and you don't see all the downs and the slow parts of trading. So I want to talk about that today. So I'm going to talk about this trade AUD USD. Stay tuned until the end of the video if you want to see how I end up in this trade, whether I take a loss or a profit, whatever happens. I will share the full trade here on YouTube so that you guys can hopefully learn something from it. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick. I talk trading, investing, and I try and keep it real. I am a trader. I've been doing this for some amounts of time, and I think that there are some parts of trading that are not the popular thing to be looking at or be talking about, and it's for good reason, I guess. It's not as flashy, it's not as fun to be dealing with this sort of trade or a losing trade or something that's just not, big money being made really quickly. But I think it's important for anybody who's really interested in this stuff to really learn about these sort of moments, because they do exist. They are a big part of trading, and not everything in trading is fun. If you haven't figured that out already, then you certainly will. Unfortunately, trading has some really ups, and it has some really downs as well. So I'm going to talk about this trade that I took here on AUD USD. I'm going to talk about why I took it, and as I mentioned, we'll watch it through on this video from start to finish. So I ended up taking a short position here on AUD USD as price broke through this downward trend line. Now I really liked the entry here, and you can see that the trade itself actually started out very nice. So we had this upward momentum market. We were seeing a lot of uptrend on AUD USD, so I wasn't looking to just short this thing right away, but once we saw some signs of weakness, I did get interested in being on the short side. So again, what you'll notice is that we had this kind of series of higher lows in this market. If we zoom back just a little bit here, you can actually see, so AUD USD was forming this nice upward kind of channel, really strong momentum. And I didn't want to get in the way of looking to be long on that or short on that, right? I wanted to wait until I saw some sort of confirmation, some sort of downward strength before looking to try and jump in on some of the sell side, because a lot of times what happens with these channels is they go on for a little while, and they can go on for a long while, but a lot of times what ends up happening is when they stop working, when they stop kind of going the direction of the trend, they kind of break down and a lot of times go back the other way. So in this case, we were in an upward channel, and I was looking for the break back the other direction. So this trade so far has worked out pretty well. So again, I got short right here, waited for that break and close and confirmation underneath here. Technically, I guess I could have taken a short here, but I wanted to get a little extra momentum downwards before looking to jump in short. And what I got here was basically a slight level of support right here, but then on the failure decided to jump in right there. So we saw this kind of slight, it's a little bit hard to bounce. Maybe we'll zoom in right here, but you can see we had a slight bounce off of this level. And then right after that, we started to see the rejection. We started to see failure higher off of this wick that we see right here. And that's where I ended up getting short right here. So I took the short trade. I shared that with members so that people could also see the analysis and make their own trades if they were interested. I do that with all of my trades. I share them in detail with the members in real time, my entries, my exits, and my analysis. If you're not already, you can check out, you can join and be a member with us down below in the description. Come trade with myself and the other members of our team. But again, I took this trade, shared it with members, and was looking to see if we could get some more downside. And fortunately, it started out really well. This trade was in profit like right away, right? Almost immediately, we were in profit here on this trade. In fact, at one point, what do? We went from here all the way down to, we came down to almost 90 pips of profit very quickly here on the trade, which is always a really nice feeling. Now you might ask, well, Nick, why didn't you just stop out? Why didn't you just close out of the trade? It seems like a pretty good reason to just get out of the trade if it comes down significantly. But for me, a lot of times what gets me out of a trade is not because it's going well, but because there's signs of the trend that I'm on no longer working, right? So we did in fact catch the start of a new trend here, and it went really well for a little while. But I was looking for basically just to let this trade run. So if you know my strategy, I've shared it here on YouTube. I've got a video about it. Very basic. What I'm looking for is shifts in momentum or to continue in a trend, but look to not cap the potential upside of a trade, but have a stop in place. So what you'll see here is that my initial entry was right here. My stop was just above structure highs. So you can actually see it right here over at the 1 hour stop thing here I've built with my Fibonacci tool. It just allows me to see where I put my entry, where I put my exit, because I move my stops along the trade. So I ended up getting short, had a stop above structure here, and was looking to see where price wanted to run. So when price came down in my favor, what is that, about 50 or so pips, I ended up moving my stop to break even as price got down to here. So on this level here, I ended up moving my stop from where it initially was right up to this break-even point that you see it at currently. Now, the reason I said this trade has been frustrating so far is because since then, we've done nothing but trade sideways. So you might ask, well, Nick, why are you still in the trade? Maybe you should just close it out. It's not going anywhere. But I do plan on holding this trade, whether it goes again in my favor further, or if it decides to just stop me out. So with that, I'm basically letting this trade run because I do still think that there is potential bearish structure here. And I think that there may be room to head down, and I will keep you guys updated whether I trail this stop further or if I just get stopped out, and then I'll post it to YouTube. Again, some of these trades end up not being very glamorous. Sometimes they just end up being break even or even losing trades, and I think that that's valuable to people on YouTube. So again, seeing some of the realistic side of trading. So we'll see how this goes, but it can be frustrating in this situation, like I said, because you're sitting here playing the waiting game sometimes, and people get impatient because they want to make money, right? And I think that it's important to understand that it is okay for a trade to take its time. It's not okay to make rash decisions just because you're impatient, greedy, fearful, whatever, right? So I'm just letting this trade play out, seeing how it goes, and I will keep you guys updated on what I do next. Okay, probably best just to get out, and I closed out at my my stop loss there, which was just above or just below break even, meaning I profited a very small amount there. But the main point here with this trade is that, you know, I get a lot of comments from videos that I post that are not winning trades, because I like to post my winners and my losers. I get a lot of comments from people who say, you know, oh, you should have done this and you should have done that. And I just want to say that I respect your comments, and I'm thankful that you have an opinion, but honestly, as a trader, it is important for me not to listen too far into other people's commentary. I've been trading for a pretty long time. I've found consistency in what I do, and I don't need those comments from other people. Now, why am I saying that? Well, I'm not bitter, because I understand people just have their opinions, and that's perfectly fine, but I want to encourage you guys, when you lose a trade, don't let a bunch of other people tell you that, oh, you should have done this, should have done this, should have done this, because if you keep listening to that voice, you're not going to stick to your routine. You're not going to stick to your trading plan, because you're going to start having doubts listening to what other people think. So again, I played this the best I knew how with my strategy. Price started to form those higher lows and ultimately did stop me out for break even. So what was a nice trade ended up just being a break even trade. And this is a trading scenario that a lot of traders struggle with, but you have to overcome in order to actually be profitable in the long run, especially with this sort of strategy where I'm looking for the big winners and they don't come that often. So sometimes I just take break-even trades and I go move on and try and find something else that's maybe ready to give me a little bit more profitability. So that is that trade. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you got something out of it. Hey, do me a favor, like the video down below. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you so much for watching all the way. You're a real fan if you made it all the way to the end here, so I really do appreciate it. So thanks so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure to check out some of the other videos on the channel, and we'll see you back in the next video.